So welcome everyone to the goal setting session. This is a team development which we used to run on a weekly basis, and we've now brought it back. So this is our first official team development session online, bringing the community. So we have all the VH team, those that I've interviewed for marketing roles. So welcome. This is to give you a experience of what we do as a company. We place a large emphasis on learning and development. Big thing with our culture is we have a culture code. And the big thing with our culture code is we literally fist bump, have a good time. We look to discuss any challenges, work out solutions. We own our problems, and we look to constantly deliver outstanding value and taking massive action. There's a whole bunch of things around don't try, be part of a solution, and being consistent as possible, and really just dialing it all in. In summary, what the hell does that mean? Which some of you would think about. Well, when it comes to setting a goal, you go to the end in mind. So if you say, I want to put on 5 kilos of muscle, I want to lose 5 kilos, or I want to have kids, you start there and you reverse engineer it and work backwards. Now, you could do nothing for, say, 6 months, and in 7 months' time, you want to achieve that goal, and then you get frantic and stressed like crazy, and you're like, fuck, and then you rush that month, which causes a lot of stress and anxiety and discomfort. Or you go, I'm going to apply myself consistently 3-4 times a week, or I'm going to have sex 3-4 times a week, have that baby, whatever that goal is. Or if your goal is to make more money, get a job, then obviously you've got to build a resume, you've got to apply yourself, and you constantly refine and define what it is. What tends to happen when it comes to goals is we set them, we don't hit them, we go, shit, didn't work. So one thing you can do, which is what I've asked you all to do, is just write them down. Because the thing is, you can always, like for me, I get a book, I write down a lot. I've got 3 books already for this year, and I just go back, I transfer all that information, and I'm like, oh, what did I achieve in my last book? Oh, okay, what are my goals for next year? Be in all the gyms in the city, have trainers in the club, have Tammy stay after her 6 months. And the thing is, when you write it down, you go, the question to follow up is, how can I achieve that now? Now, talk to Tammy. Go into all the clubs. So that's why Brooklyn's in one of the clubs, I'm in the other. So I've already achieved 2 of the 5 goals that I've set out already before the year's already started. But it's by writing it down and reflecting. And one of the pieces that tends to be missing is the identity of self. So you can write your goals down and go, fuck, I failed. It's not good enough. Oh, and you just keep trying and trying and trying, and it keeps failing and failing and failing. And you then go, shit, what's going on? Sometimes it's the process that you get there. And this is something that I learned from Mark Tobre, D. Martini, Tony Robbins. So 3 people that I've learned a lot from. And so we're going to take you on the journey of how I learned this, and we're going to get you guys to write this out as well. Hopefully you'll get something from it, but it's a way to deconstruct it and look at it. So some of us mention we're introverts, some of us are extroverts, some of us are like, I don't know verts, what I am. I'm a person, I know that much. But really, at the end of the day, we're all different individuals, and one thing's not going to work for all of us. So this is really designed to help you break it all apart so you can look at it and go, huh, okay, I can work with that. So in the top right-hand corner, so we should all have our goals. What you now want to write in your page, so if you've got a new page, so you've got your goals here, boom, written down, or if you're typing it, cool. Move on to your next page, and then you're going to write be, do, have. Be, I'll just do it for you, do, have. Okay, just like so. Be, do, have. So top, 1/3 of the way down, 2/3 of the way, like so. You can be neat. You could do a quadrant. I scribble a lot. I waste paper. I recycle it, don't worry. But you can be really messy with this. You can technically do this on 3 times. Write it down, or if you're typing it, it's fine. You can space it apart. So what we're going to do is look at what you writ for your 3 goals. And then what I want you to do is write down what do you have to do to achieve that goal? What do you have right now that's going to help you achieve it? What do you need to achieve it? And who do you need to be to achieve it? So if you go, I need to make this much money, do you have what you need to achieve it? So if you said, if I worked 40 hours, that would help me achieve that. Am I working that 40 hours? No. Okay, well, that would help you answer, what do I need to do? I need to get another 20 or 30 or 40 hours of work to achieve that goal. Who do I need to be? Well, I sit down and play with my thumbs all day. I probably should be someone who's proactive or productive or Maybe I should be someone who's learning a skill to apply that to get what I want. And so with that quick example, do I have the time? Okay, well, I don't have the physical time of being paid for that time, but I have 168 hours in the week that I can apply to get them some money. Okay, cool, tick, I got that. Do I have the skills or the capacity to do the work? Yeah, I do. I think I've got the skills to be someone who's great, who could get paid for it. Okay. Do I have the person or the connections to get me there? Some of us might go, well, yeah, I've got Carl. Or no, I don't. Like if you wanted to have a kid, it's like, oh, I don't have a partner. Okay, cool. Well, then what I do need to get is a partner. Who do I need to be? Well, I need to be someone who's proactive, applying for jobs, or I need to be someone who's learning a new skill that's going to teach me what I need to do in 2-3 months' time. So then I'm more applicable for a role that I want to do. So if I hate being a cleaner, you might be a cleaner for 3 months because it helps you get some money, pay for the skills. But the end goal is to run a restaurant. In 3 months' time, you then learn business and how to do that. So look at your goals, ask yourself, do I have what I need? What do I need to do to get it? And who do I need to be? And usually a lot of us focus on the doing and the action rather than thinking about, am I the right person? Or sometimes, is that the right team or culture that I want to be part of? So yeah, scribble that down, write it through, 5 minutes. Back. So we're running here. So no need to rush. Disclaimer, maybe at the end of the day you go, well, cool, I won't work for that Carl guy. Or maybe the job I have at the moment, I'll quit. Cool. As people would normally say, don't take massive action straight away, but sometimes you need to get out of the rut that you may feel that you're in. Or this will lead to a conversation that maybe you have with a partner, a friend, a colleague that can steer the way for you to move forward. So has anyone gone and had a realization of like, I have what I need, but I'm not doing what I need to be, and I'm not being the person to achieve the goal that I want to be? Or is everyone like, yeah, I'm crushing it. I've got all the 3 things. Hands up if you've got all the 3 things. Nobody. Put that hand up. Let's check. James.
Just one more.
Nah, it's the other James. It's the fresh James. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. So James, were you responsible yesterday?
No, which is one of my goals.
Mm.
So you weren't responsible?
Oh no, sorry. I meant like in the morning, no, but at night, yes. I didn't drink any.
So you didn't drink anything last night?
No. I had a bit. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and I didn't.
I am being responsible. Who do I need to be? Good looking and responsible. Aha. I just need the triple threat. 10%. Amazing. So moving on to the next page, you're going to want to draw 2 circles. Above one circle, you'll have physical manifestation, and then you'll have the intrinsic. So we have physical and intrinsic. So you're drawing a wheel with a quadrant in it. Because remember, as we talked about, we've got introverts, extroverts. We'll find some people were motivated by more the physical, some by the intrinsic. And we're here to look at breaking it down.
Sorry, what are the two circles?
Just two circles to start with.
Okay.
One circle is the physical, one is the intrinsic. Just so we know, at the end of this, you'll all get given something that you can use as a tool that I use for my goals. Some of you it'll work, some of them won't. But obviously, a big shout out to Mary who helped build it. Cool. So in your circle, so we're now going to break these four quadrants. We've got in the top left-hand corner of the physical, we're going to have the physical, which is physical health and well-being. Physical health. Then you're going to have business and career. Then you'll have financial and wealth. So wealth can be obviously independence. Then you'll have fun and adventure. Just like so. So you're going to write it like that.
So that was in physical?
Business and career. So we've got business and career in the right corner. Then bottom right, we've got finance and wealth. Bottom left, fun and adventure. Top left, physical and health. Or physical health and wellness.
In both circles or just the one?
Just the top one. Just the physical one.
Okay.
Okay. When you've done that, we then go into the intrinsics, the internal factor. And that's where you're going to have top right, you're going to have love and friendships. Then we're going to have love and relationships. Okay, that's right. Scribbles and paper. Then we've got social and friendships, bottom right corner. Then you've got growth and learning. And then you've got spiritual. So like so, in the second intrinsic column. So you've got top right, love and relationships. Below, bottom right, social and friends. To the left, growth and learning. And then the top, spiritual. And so from that, so just to run through, so in the physical manifestational wheel, top right-hand corner, you've got business and career. Bottom right, you've got finance and wealth. To the left, fun and adventure. Top left, physical health and wellness. In the intrinsics, the internal factor, we've got top right, love and relationships. Bottom right, social and friendships. Left, growth and learning. Top left, spiritual. And then you can click the hand and you got it. So again, thanks, John. Thanks, James. Business and career, finance and wealth, fun and adventure, physical health and wellness. Then in the intrinsic, top right, love and relationships, bottom right, social and friendships, growth and learning, and spiritual. So everyone's got their wheels made up. So don't worry, this all comes together. So from there, you've got your wheels, guys. Then what you want to do is you want to score yourself out of 10. So before we start goals, we obviously need to have a point of reflection. So one of the things when it comes to our goals, we got to ask ourselves, what went well? How am I doing? How am I going right now in this moment? Because sometimes everything will be going great. Sometimes you don't always need to keep pushing harder. Sometimes you need to go, how is everything? Yeah, it's actually really good. I'm happy with it. You got to use that reflection tool to compare. So based off this, this is a tool that we can use to reflect. So in this, you're going to score yourself business and career. So I'll quickly run this through. If you were to score, let's say in business career, I say I'm a 5. So I go 5. Finance and wealth, I think I'm a 3. Fun and adventure, 9 out of 10. And then physical health and wellness, I think I'm a 5 as well. So then what you want to do is with that score, so you're going to score each of them. So you score on the side. And then what you want to do is you're going to take up the space. So if you're a 5, you're going to be about halfway. If you're a 9, you're going to be further out. If you're a 3, closer in. And you're going to draw yourself a wheel, right, in your circle. So run through all of these and give yourself a score, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. What would you rate yourself out of 10? Now, you could be like, you could be the best friend, but you just feel like, oh, I haven't seen my friends for the last 3 weeks, and usually I like to see them weekly, so I give myself an 8. Or, no, man, I don't really have any friends. Okay, you score yourself a 2. You might go, I don't have friends, but I love life, and I feel my relationships with the people around me is great, 9, because you're an introvert, so you don't want to really talk to people. But when you do, you have a good time. And, you know, there's people say, oh, that was amazing. So then based off your circle, what you might look at, so if we were to compare those numbers between your physical and intrinsic, if we were to make a bike, if everyone was like, we made a bike, got the axle, connected it together, and we rode this bike. Oh my God, this is a terrible drawing. Don't judge me for it. So this is my bike. Do we think I'm going to have a bumpy time? You'd probably say yes, because that back wheel is looking pretty uncircular. That other front one, there might be a few bumps, but I reckon we could travel pretty far. But with the back wheel, it'd be pretty uncomfortable, right? That makes sense to everyone? So you've kind of given yourself a little self-evaluation based off your own perception of what your own career is, your well-being, friendships, your finances, your wealth, independence, your physical health. So James, if I was to use you as an example, what did you score what was your lowest score?
It was financial and wealth and health and well-being.
Okay, financial and wealth was what?
Is 5.
Okay, and what was your social and friends?
A 9.
Cool. And your physical and health?
5.
And your spiritual?
7.
Okay, cool. Anyone else want to give up their lowest score? What was your highest score, James?
Love and relationships.
5 and 5, and then love and relationship. What was that?
Sorry, 9. 9.
Yeah. Cool. So if we were to use James as an example, thanks, James, for nominating yourself. If we use James as an example, everyone wants to think about it. So we're going to go hands up and then hands down. So hands up if we think James should work on improving his love and relationships. It's 9 out of 10. Hands up if we think he should. That should be a real big focus for him, for his goals, his ambitions. Andrew's like, yes, he should love me. Brooklyn says, yep, he needs to love me too. Everyone else is like, probably not. Okay. What about his lowest scores? Do we think that should be a priority, which was his finance and wealth and his physical health? Hannah's put 2 hands up, we can see. Okay, so we're all putting our hands up more so, which is what is the lowest score compared to the highest score? So the thing to understand is that we don't always, and as I said, you don't always need to, not everything's broken. Don't need to fix it. Like, he could just turn to his partner. You happy? Like, I'll use my example. My partner, she's like, yeah, you've gotten fatter. Oh, thanks, love. My love of ice cream's quite hard. She's like, well, you could just stop ordering it. Like, I could, but it's COVID's fault. She's like, okay, you going to put your big boy pants on? I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. She's like, cool. So sometimes that can happen, or it can turn out to be an ugly fight and you have a breakup because you score it really low, maybe because you're not giving enough loving attention. So it's usually easier to work on the things that have a lower score. Why? Because they're going to have a bigger impact. So if we remember what we talked about the be, do, have. So what we want to now go into is our next layer is we're going to break that down into these goals or into these areas. So if we think about it, James, if you were to put like most of your time into finances and wealth, what would happen?
I would probably make more money.
Okay. Would that have a benefit on your career?
Yes.
Would that would that allow you to have more fun and adventures?
Yes.
Would you be able to do more with your partner and work on the relationship?
Yes.
Okay. Would you be able to socialize with your friends more?
Yes.
Would you be able to increase your growth and learning opportunities?
Yes.
Would you improve your spiritual awareness of yourself?
Probably. Yes.
Well, if you were focused more on making more money, do you think you would internalize more? Maybe not.
I'm not an internalizer.
Cool. So now we found something else. So maybe for James, he needs to think about, okay, I don't usually internalize. So what could he do? I should schedule him once a month, 1 hour sit down with myself to run over this and double check how am I going. Right? Some of you are like, Carl, I do that all the time. Maybe because you're doing it too much. Maybe you need to be more like James and be more about action. So this is what I'm talking about with physical and intrinsic. So maybe James is intrinsic, like because he's more of a physical person, he scored himself more heavily here, and he was probably a little bit looser on that intrinsic. Make sense? So if you were to all look at your lowest score now, hands up, if you worked solely on that low point, would it impact everything else? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. So, and 9 times out of 10. So, James, let's quickly ask you a good question. What do you enjoy doing right now? Do you like working on the low-level task stuff that's hard and not rewarding at the moment, or working on the thing that's high value to you, like your relationship, and providing a lot of value right now?
Probably the value right now stuff.
Yeah. So when it comes to this, the spin-off is what I have now that can help me. What do I need to do to get there, and what do I need to be? Or what value is this going to bring me to support the things of value already? For example, he's got low score on finances. If he made more money, it improves everything else. Knowing that now, James, are you more likely to work on the career and the finances now, knowing that it will positively impact other areas?
Yes.
Cool. And that's the power of this. So usually it's not just, all right, James, let's go make 100 grand in the next 12 months. Okay, hustle. Let's do more phone calls. Let's just sell, and sell. How do you think that's going to work? I really don't enjoy doing this. Correct. But if we make a connection to the value that it supports your vision of where you want to go, you're more likely to do it, because you can then ask yourself, why am I doing this? If the goal was to make 100 grand and he makes that, he can then go, do I want to keep doing this? Oh, no. Cool. What do I need to focus on? I could then notice maybe there's a decline in the relationship in his friendships or with the people that he's working with now. Well, if I worked on that, I could build my team, and the team could help me grow and expand. And then I probably wouldn't have to do so many sales because I would retain everyone, and then everyone would be happier and I would enjoy life more. That'd be easier. Does everyone see how that connects? Yep, so a lot of us nodding, which is good. So whatever your lowest score is, so for a lot of us, because obviously this normally takes about 4 hours, it takes a long time, which is cool, but we're powering it in 90 minutes. What we want to now do is we want to go into the next page, pick three areas. So what 3 would you rate as your lowest? So what I would say is pick 2 of your lowest and pick your highest one, because it's always easy to do the highest one, gets the juices flowing, gets you more creative, so it'll make more sense. So whatever your highest score is, if you're like love and relationships, Karl, that's my thing, health and wellness, whatever that is, we're going to flip the page over, and then you're going to write that. You're going to write at the top of your page, so what I mean, lots of note-taking apparatus, lots of scribbling, you're going to put physical health, wellness, if that was your number one thing. Next page. Oh, Karl, my lowest score. Oh, finances and wealth. Oh, physical wealth and being. Spiritual. Oh, I got no idea what that is, Karl. Put that in there. So you're going to have the highest one first, top page. Scribble it. Next page, your lowest one. Next page, another low one.
So you're going high, low, low?
High, low, low. And if you go, but Karl, I don't have any low point ones. Life is great. Awesome. But not everything's going to be 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So if you had 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, that 8's your low one. And if you've got 2 9s, then go, okay, well, what are the 2 am I maybe struggling with a little bit more with than the other? That's your lowest one. So those would be your 2 low. And then you pick, you got 10, 10, 10s. Well, which one do you perceive to be your highest one? Like I would say Jordan, for example, he mentioned that loves soccer, loves the coffee and the walking. His physical health and well-being might be his highest, or his social network, because he goes out with his mates to watch the footy. So, and he's like, I wake up, I love that. He doesn't even have to, someone goes, hey, Jordan, yep, I'm there. They don't even have to convince him. He's already going to go because that's what he loves. That would be his highest one. It literally, the sentence isn't finished, he's already there. So if you're like, spiritual's my thing, boom, use that. So with the top one, so now that we've written that, so we've got a highest one and our 2 lowest. Again, we're going to break the page down. So how's below that? So you're going to literally, you've written physical health and wellness. And what you're going to do is you're going to literally put a highlighter through it, or you're going to put a big underline through it. So if you're like, Yeah, that's my thing. Got a big line under it. And then we're going to write to be. Or not to be. Then we're going to go below that. Have a guess. What are we going to put under it, people?
Do.
Correct, Eddie. So, whoops, sorry. To create or to be. To be. I'm going to make it easier for everyone. Be to have. So we got to be, to do, to have. Super simple. So then we're going to go back to the top. To be a 10 in this area, what do I need to commit to? To do actionable steps to achieve a 10. To have, bracket, skill sets and environments. So we're now going to go further into this. So you can quickly do that across your 2 pages. To quickly show everyone a little bit about this. So to be, to do, to have. To be, you need to vision who you need to be in the future. Where are you going? I want to be a 10 out of 10 for my adventure, for fun and adventure. Well, what does that look like? Well, that would be me traveling the world. That would be me doing something. What is that something? Then you need to identify who are you to achieve that vision. To be. To do, what beliefs and values do I need to have in myself to help me achieve that? And then have, what skill sets and environments do I need to be in? Do I need to be part of more calls? Do I need to find different friends? Do I need to be surrounded by people? Jordan's in a cafe. Is this the cafe that really gets me going to really achieve what I need to achieve? And usually when we work on the be, who do I need to be? Who do I need to show up as to make this happen now? Usually it has a flow and effect of your beliefs. So I need to be fit, athletic. I need to be independent. I need to be someone who speaks up, speaks my mind. Or maybe I need to be someone who's observant. No, I believe I'm an introvert. Cool. I need to be someone who observes this scenario before I say something. Then you'll find you'll have beliefs around that and values where if, for example, you work with me and Carl's like, fuck this. I really don't value swearing. Therefore, is that going to be the right environment for you to be in? No. Because whatever your values and beliefs are in yourself and your identity is going to then give you the tools of what that environment looks like. Makes sense? So Jordan, for example, again, using the man because he's in the cafe himself, or happy listening in, they're outside or they're inside having a coffee because that gives that aligns with their identity, which loves soccer, loves coffee. Okay, well, what do cafes have? Coffee. Chris, I was like, I like coffee, but oh my God. Look, so she might not have coffee, but she might like to sit in cafes because she loves the smell. And oh man, that's great. So it's a nice environment for her to be in. So then she feels more relaxed. that allows the creative juices to flow. That's the process that we're going through. So your highest value, who are you right now achieving that 10? James is being the lover, the supporter, the guardian, who's the big muscular dude, because that's what the partner loves, but he likes being that big muscle guy. Feels strong, feels confident when he walks in a room. Everyone notices him. Like, I know 3 weeks ago, we're going for a walk, and this guy goes, "Yo, James!" I'm like, who the hell? This guy comes running out of nowhere. What are you doing? James is like, what does it look like? I'm eating. Maybe because he's got the identity of the big guy, he believes that people now notice him more. So if that was his belief of the relationship and it works, and when it gets to his physical health and wellness, he might go, oh, well, however, the identity I have here of who I'm being, well, actually, being that bigger guy has me putting on a bit more weight. Like, I've got a little more fat to me. Yeah, I'm bigger, but it now affects how I move and how I'm carrying myself in my own health and well-being. So then we can go to skill sets and values. Like, you can still have that identity, but he has to adjust maybe his nutrition or what he's doing day to day for both to work in unison and alignment. So when you go to the environment and the skill sets, oh, the environment supports me. I work in a gym. However, the environment of maybe me always going to McDonald's. I'm not saying he goes to McDonald's, but if he did, his skill set to support the relationship, he eats more food. He does get even bigger. More people notice him. Awesome. That fulfills him there. But on this other side where he's struggling a little bit, he just needs to fine-tune the skill set of maybe I should change from McDonald's to maybe Subway because, might affect calories. He gets a bit more vegetables in. And then, over time, by applying himself into a slightly different environment, both takeaways. So I'm not saying you guys have to change everything, but that slight change could be what makes the shift for him. So now go through your list and write down a little bit through that. Hopefully that's helped. I tried to play some music, tried being the word, didn't work. So guys, play some music in the background, something light, not crazy loud. Whip your hair back and forth. And just start to write through that. And if anyone's getting stuck, just pull me up, go, hey, Carl, thoughts, questions, ideas, open forum. We can talk through. If you're stuck on anything, let's start on your highest one. Might be a little bit easier for you, and then go on to the weaker ones. Who do I need to be? Well, I'm amazing, so that's why I'm a 10 out of 10. Cool. Well, then, actually a good example. You're like, I'm amazing. I look good. That's why I'm a 10 out of 10 in this relationship, because I bring the looks. Cool. But then when it comes to something else, is that identity that you have here at your highest value serving you in those other values? Oh, well, I haven't trained my looks to bench press for me, so I guess not. So you could be then, need to then, who are you being? It's like, oh, I'm the handsome guy, I'm the strong technical guy, or I'm the good-looking female who's a great listener, communicates well with others, it requires 5 second of quiet before I answer the question. So I like to observe how people are. I like to observe people's body language. All right, we're back. So based off those, so you've done 3. Hopefully you've done all 8. So you've done your full wheel. You've started to write down who do you need to be, what identity do you need to have, what do you start doing, what do you need to do to believe in yourself, what actions should you be doing, what behaviors are you starting to be consistent, are you showing up every day, where do you need to be showing up, so what do you need to have to get there. But the question of follow-up sometimes can be, okay, this is who I need to be. I'm pretty close to that. Well, if you showed up 365 days of the year to your work or to yourself, if it was to maybe read a page a day, would you get to where you wanted to be in those 365 days? 365 days, would your scores improve? Would you be better? The answer is yes. Cool. Then maybe you're on the right path. It's just right now you're in a point where it's a bit of a blip, but you're just going to keep showing up and eventually you'll get over it. However, the follow-up, which is always fun, so you guys can watch Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, big advocates, is how could you 10x it? How could you multiply what you have and what you want? How can you 10 times it, 5 times it? Is who you're being right now enough to double it, triple it, 5 times it. Some of us noted like, yeah, if I kept doing the same thing, every day for 365 days, I would achieve what I needed to achieve. Okay, great. But what if you 10x what it is you wanted to achieve? Would who you're being right now be enough? Maybe, maybe not. So if you now go back to your goals and you reevaluate what you wrote, is what you're doing enough to achieve those goals? Yes or no? Hands up. Yes, hands down, no. So before we have these goals, so if we look at how we've broken today down, we've started with what is it we want to achieve in the next year? 3 goals. Brooklyn's reaching for the cheat codes. So we wanted to achieve these 3 goals. Now we've looked at our physical and intrinsic wheel. We've asked ourselves, who am I? What am I doing right now? How would I score myself? We found our highest scores, which has gotten the creative juices flowing. Then we've looked at our 2 lowest scores, and we've actually asked ourselves, what do we need to change? Who do we need to be to make a shift in this? So now, if you made the shift on your 2 lowest scores and you really worked on them and you brought them up to an 8 or a 9 and you doubled that score, so it was higher value, and you saw how it impacted every other area of your life, would achieving your goals in a year's time be more achievable? Would be easier? Or would you smash it out of the park and you would double it? Would that be more really, would that happen? Yes or no? So hands up, yes. Hands down, no. It's 2 hands. I love the 2 people that put their hands up, said, yes, I would achieve my goal. And now it's like, oh, work on the worst area of your life and you get better at everything. Didn't put their hands up. So more people put their hands up. So this is where I would then say to you, okay, let's plan for the uncomfortable and let's align with that. So if James is physical health and wellbeing, so James, are you happy to share what your 3 goals were? James Lowe?
Yeah.
Go. What were your 3 goals?
My goals were to become the ultimate rehabber, make everyone injury-free and prevent them.
Rehab trainer, yeah.
Specialize in knees.
Yeah.
And then become the best scheduler.
Best scheduler. Okay. Does anyone remember what his weakest goal was? His weakest value was? Which was money. Interesting enough, his highest one was relationship. And was it education?
Friendships.
Friendships. Okay. Where's education?
Education, I have growth and learning.
Yeah.
That was a 7.
Cool. So that was high as well. Okay. Does anyone see any financial goals in here? Nope. All right, cool. Well, I'll share on myself. So my biggest one is that I obviously want to be in all 4 gyms. I want to make the company make $5 million so we can hire more people and do bigger events, bigger parties, help more people, have a team of about 15 trainers, and build an online space and have our own facility. So the money pays for itself. So my biggest thing comes down from, we go back into these, where did I write myself? So my biggest weakness was the financial and wealth and the physical and health. So the thing to look at is I have a financial goal, but from a wealth perspective of being an investor, being a business operator, that's not talked about. So I would talk about how I just need to be showing up, be an excellent trainer, educator, and supporter, and eventually I'll grow and have those people. But the thing that's missing, which is the wealth aspect, which is I need to be a smarter investor, which is investing my time and my money in the right people and the right places that has a 10x return on it that allows me to grow the company faster and quicker. So that makes sense to everyone. So with James, he wanted to be a knee guy, he wanted to be a rehab specialist, he wanted to be a great scheduler, but he didn't put into who he wanted to be or in his goals what he should be earning. So he's like, so we would shift that. His first goal would be what? Stability, 50K, 60K, 70K in the year, right? Because then you can easily measure that metric to move forward. Because to be the special knee guy, well, how can you measure that? So if he aligned with his weakest value, which was to make $50,000 a year, invest 10% of his earnings every year so he could purchase property or invest in education and courses to increase his upskill and opportunities, and then position himself as a senior trainer who specializes in rehab and education and exercise performance, that can more align him to move that forward. Making sense to everyone? So look at your goals again and now ask yourself, What do they align with that weakest value? Do you see it being important to you? So again, we use James as the example, which is in the sense of if he worked on his finances, it would benefit every other area of his life. So if James worked on his finances, he'd have more money, which would upskill him more. He could pay for more courses, which would help him get the title faster because he would learn. And then if he learned more, what would happen? He'd probably make more. So by focusing on that weakest link, he can build on it. And the follow-up to, then you follow up and go, okay, who do I know that can help me get this sooner or quicker? So remember, this is the 10x. How do I 10x it? Usually, we have to look outside and ask ourselves, who has achieved this goal that I can ask for help to help me get from here to here to here? And that's how you 10x. So by building out your 3, 4, 5 goals that you have, write that down. Who do I need to be? Okay. Can I make that happen? No. Great. Who do I know that can help me make that happen faster? So I can accelerate that growth. Or is what I'm doing right now going to get me there to 2x it, 5x it, 10x it? Yeah, it is. Because university is a 4-year court program. I've done 3 years. I have 1 year. So in the confines of what I have to do requires a year. So I have to commit to a year. Can I accelerate it? No, because it's set that way. Makes sense to everyone? Cool. So hopefully you're all writing a bunch of notes. Is anyone confused? Like, what is he talking about? I wrote a wheel. I found weak links. I found strong things that I'm good at. I'm not good at relationships. I don't get this. I need to be someone who communicates my feelings more. I don't see how that's going to help me make more money. I want to make more money, but I also want to be a better. I don't have a. How does this work? This makes no sense. Jordan wants to be spiritual. How oh my God, I don't know how. And James wants to make money. How does that affect? Oh my God. Who do I know? Oh my God, I don't know. Dad, mom, a friend? Oh, what an awkward conversation. Anyone feeling like this? Yeah, this happens. So if you are feeling that way, that's okay. It happens. So now let's go into my part. So I've just given you a whole bunch of information of what I've learned over the years and kind of applied. And again, it's gotten these juices flowing, helps us get a creative. The biggest thing to ask yourself, what is the number one thing that you want to achieve? So phase 1, when it comes to setting goals, what it comes down, set goals, fire away. Literally, blank piece of paper, write everything down. So we're going to tweak this again, and we're going to write absolutely everything down. But before you do that, write notes. What went well? So you literally go from 1 to 8 across your page. You go, what went well for you? What have you excelled at for the year? What's gone well? I got a job. I've put a resume out. For you, it might be I typed up a resume, or I actually just showed up every day for the last 28 days. Okay? The second thing then is, what am I proud of? Who my team or my network, my relationships, am I proud of? So you acknowledge the people that are maybe doing well. So like I said, you've got the weak links. Who are you proud of? This is a way for you to potentially go, I need to go talk to that person so I can go achieve it. Number 3, tough moments, tasks, lessons from the last week, the last month, the last year, what it's taught you. In that lesson, in that moment, what did you learn from that tough experience? We've also just done number 4, areas of growth and improvement. Put an arrow, turn page back. Now you can deconstruct your goals into those 8 areas that we ran through, spiritual wealth, so you can write a goal for each one of them. So the B do have. And what we're going to do, we've got the year, your 3 goals. So we just work on those 3 goals because of time, but you can apply this to everything. Let's reverse engineer. So if James, I'll use James because he said he wanted to be the knee guy. I challenge him to be the rehab trainer who makes $60K a year. How does that sound for you, James, or do you want more? 60, 70, 80, 100, 500?
That's reasonable for now.
500.
No, 60.
60. Okay, so 60 is what he wants to do. Okay, so that's the year. Okay, let's break it down into 90. So what do you think? So we reverse engineers 60K in a year's time as the rehab trainer. Do we know anyone in the network that's achieved that goal before? Well, yeah, he knows me. Anybody else?
My network. Don't think so, no.
Cool. We know other physios, we know chiros. So we could ask them, how have they done it? They could be contractors, they could be on employment. Get an idea. If we don't know anyone, then we have to think outside the box. So let's say we want to make 60K in the next 90 days. Okay, then we refine it into 3 smaller goals in a brief sentence. So what does 60K look like? Looks like I work 5 days. I'm working 5 days a week, as more of as a clinician, making $60,000. $60,000 is, if you go $6,000 down, divided by 2, making $1,154 a week. And that supports my connection and my relationships with my friends and my partner to grow. So he ties it back to his thing that he really enjoys. You really want to find how it supports your main goal. If you can't, that's when you would ask the people here, what's the first action step that I need to take to achieve that goal or to reach it? Well, for James, it could be starting a conversation with his employer. It could be, well, I thought that it would look like me doing 30 sessions a week or 40 or 50 or 60 or 100 sessions a week. How many am I at? How many do I need to get to? Oh, I'm at 20 and I need to get to 40. Cool. I need to grow. I need to start talking to people. I need to ask clients for referrals. I need to maybe, I believe that I can get more leads from social media. I should talk to the marketing team, how to expose myself. A follow-up would be, how can I do it where I don't have to invest as much time? So how can I have it working for me in my favor? So that means for the guys here is like, so for everyone, like you might put a description of yourself in a Facebook group so everyone can see it, but you don't have to physically be there to communicate to them. So when they read it, they reach out to you. What will be my reward when I achieve this? So you attach, what are you going to give yourself? 3 things. It's free, it costs a bit, and it costs a lot. So what would be something for free that he can reward himself? If he loves coffee, well, you know what, I'm gonna get myself a coffee. Or I'll get a coffee machine so I can always have. Or I'm going to take myself and Alyssa, I'm going to take us on a coffee experience wine and dine tour where we're taken to the Hunter Valley where, we're given a coffee shot and we experience it with wine because there's this place I really like. So we're really now stripping this goal apart. What do I need to be doing in the morning? I need to brush my teeth and iron my shirt so I'm more presentable to the people that I work with. What's my start ritual? I need to be 10 minutes early on time and I need to, just smile. Or I need to be, I need to make sure I've trained beforehand. What's my wind down routine? I reflect and I ask myself, if it was to talk to 10 people a day, have I talked to 10 people? I talked to 5. Why didn't I talk to the other 5? Oh, because I got 2 new clients. Okay, well, that takes time. Is that a bad thing? No, cool. Do I do 15 sessions tomorrow where I talk to 15 people? Or do I just acknowledge and go, well, I achieved my result of what I wanted, so it's fine. Cool. Tomorrow, it's back to 10. Evening, nighttime routine. Usually the wind down and the nighttime routine, so it's a reflection piece, but the nighttime routine, usually for a lot of people, or even the morning routine, everyone's different. Some people like to go for a beach walk. It's their thing that allows them to restore, reset. For others, it could be like, I just like the video game. I give myself an hour, put the timer on, off I go. Then to go deeper into that goal, what would the ideal week look like? Waking up, food, mood, bowel movements. Like write it down so much that you can visually picture it. And this is creating the shape with creating the ideal week, is that's that B. So if you write down, I wake up at 6 a.m., I go to bed at 10 p.m., I always have a coffee first thing in the morning, then I have steak and eggs. Well, then if you're mapping this out, what is it you're currently doing versus what you're not doing? What are your 3 big, so you're going now deeper to achieve the 90-day goals. And this is where, or if I 10x it or if I triple it, I achieve it in 30 days. How can I achieve it in 30 days? Then my big 3 things, I've always got to talk to 10 people, always got to have a smile on my face, and I've always got to go above and beyond and take massive action to help people. Then you look at all of this. So you've refined your goals. You've gone through 3. You've stripped it down. You've asked yourself, do I know anyone? Yep or no. Break it down. Cool. Who can I delegate this to? Well, actually, I could talk to my mentor and share this with him, and he could tell me it's a terrible idea or it's a great idea to accelerate this and maybe tell me his mistakes that he made, so now I can move forward. Or, delegation. Well, you know, Mary knows this very well, and Angel's like, delegate to them some of the things that I don't want to do. So it frees me up to do more high-level stuff. And the thing is, what you can do is you can do this daily. I recommend doing it weekly. But once you've written all this down, guys, you can take a screenshot if you want. So once you've broken down that first goal, then you now go into your second goal. And you might see an overlap. You might notice waking up at the same time, going to bed at the same time, benefits all the goals. Well, great. You can now start doing, so remember who you need to be and what you need to do, what you need to have. What can you be doing to 10x that goal so it happens now or in a few weeks? That's something. Picking it apart in your daily rituals or the ideal week. Start doing that now so it occurs. So we're going to give everyone time to write that down. There are 3 things. Strip it apart. Alrighty, so that is goal setting broken down into the wheel, our reflection piece, and kind of how you break it down through a 90-day period. The other thing to understand is what happens if that doesn't occur. So sometimes pain will create the action. So, you know, simple as doing this, what has to happen? Beliefs. So the thing is, if you didn't achieve this, what would happen? What's the worst case scenario? If you're like, oh, nothing would change. Okay, well, if you're happy being that type of person, then probably don't be around me because I'm not great dealing with that. So that's the environment and the people that you're surrounded by. So if you're surrounded by people that are savages and constantly pushing to move forward, then definitely you're in the right place. That's definitely going to motivate and push you forward. But if you're surrounded by the people that are okay and happy with where they're at, then definitely, if you're wanting to get out of that, you've got to ask yourself, is this the right place to be in? Or what is, internally, it's like, if this doesn't happen in the next 90 days, what's the repercussion? I lose my house, I stay exactly the same, and I don't want that. I stress, I internalize, I get this gut feeling, and it's so uncomfortable that I feel paralyzed. It suffocates me. Like, pull that pain out and then go, okay, in a year, 3 years, 5 years' time, if you were to do the exact same thing, nothing changed, how would you feel? Oh, God, I feel sick thinking about it. Like it's tight around my neck. It's just uncomfortable. Like I feel, you can use that. And that is a way to go, okay, I've had enough. Take the action now. The other one is, again, if you had a magic wand, what would it be? So I can really only do this with people that give me examples. So does anyone want to jump on and tell me what the goals are? I can show you firsthand what to do with this. Angel, go. You're on mute.
Yeah, actually, my goal in the one that I listed is not really connecting. My goals is I want to earn 6 digits without compromising my weekend off. I want to go to psych one day to conquer my fear, and I want to buy my own cell phone. And my to be is someone who speaks up, to be a communicator, and someone who shows up. My to do is planning and to create planning and to network. My to have is time for myself and create strategic planning. My lowest in the wheel is...
Hang on, let's stop there. So number one is to make time for self. So you want to make 6 digits. What, so around 5 digits at the moment. How far off are you on that?
I think 3 steps.
Okay. What has stopped you from achieving this goal in the past?
Positioning myself.
Positioning yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So do you need to be someone who positions themselves or someone who speaks up?
I need to be the someone who speaks up.
Okay. So you aren't, so you haven't achieved it in the past because you haven't been in the right position, correct?
No, I'm in the right position. I love what I'm doing. Yeah, I think communicate and show up. That's the problem.
So the reason why you haven't achieved 6 figures is because you haven't been showing up. Okay,
yes.
So what do you need to start doing today?
Show up.
Okay, show up for what?
Show up. Show up for my goals and my task and notes.
Okay, so the goal is to buy your own cell phone. So go show up at the store and go buy a phone today. Done. Why is that so hard?
I always think that I don't deserve it.
Okay. And if I said to you, you don't deserve it, what would you say?
I'll agree with you.
Okay. So you're communicating to me that you don't value yourself. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you need to be a communicator when really you need to be someone who believes in themselves and their actions to be a authoritative figure that deserves 6 figures. So your be, do, have are in the you've misplaced them. What you have is Captain Underpants. They're in your corner, backing you up. So you have a community of people that support you. What you need to do is believe in yourself. So the people that believe in you, you need to leverage them and believe in yourself as well. So what you need to start doing is believing in yourself. And that starts with you waking up every single day, spending 5 minutes doing what you want, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30, 40, whatever it is. Less is easier because you just do it and then get on with it. But doing something for yourself, so then the rest of the day is just a bonus. Because if your boss says you're shit, and for this purpose of this recording, I'm the boss and I say you're fucking shit, you turn around and go, no, I'm not. Because I've already done what I need to do today for myself. And I believe that I'm actually in the right position and I'm right with my opinion. However, I wonder what he's really trying to say because he might be stressed. Because usually when people give feedback, it's a reflection of themselves. Jordan, can you turn your camera on? I love using Jordan as an example. Okay, let's all be clear. Who looks better? If anyone says me, you're lying. Okay, so I want you to look at Jordan's hair. He's got a fade on the side, and then it's got like the hair goes up. Mine looks scrappy. Okay, he's got this trim, moustache, trim of beard. Mine just okay. So if I said, Jordan, you look really sloppy and unprofessional today, in comparison, if he's the better looking one, is that more a reflection of him or myself? It would be on me. No one's corrected me because we all agree Jordan's the better looking one. Shame Grant can't come on. But look, I use Jordan as an example and I use James now because these two boys, every 2 weeks, they get a haircut. Boom. I do one once a month and I get Kate to do it in this way. It doesn't look as clean as what Jordan's does. He prioritizes that little bit more, right? So usually if someone gives feedback, it's usually a representation of themselves. Now, I've never said that about Jordan, but I always like to use an example because it's always a clear like, oh, yeah, I can actually see that line in Jordan's hair. I see that, it's actually got that slight comb on the side. Yeah, he really does look quite good. And so if anyone ever gives you feedback, it's usually 99% of the time a reflection of themselves. Thank you, good sir. So what you need to start doing is start believing in yourself, showing up for yourself. So then when you show up for work, you've already got more energy to provide. But right now, what you're doing is you're not looking after yourself. So you're draining your energy. You keep having migraines. You start feeling sick more frequently, and you wonder why it keeps happening. So who you need to be is someone who prioritizes themselves so they then have more energy to do the things that they need. And if you started showing up for yourself, how would your energy be every day? Higher? Would you be forgetful? Probably not. And if you kept going, oh, it's too hard, well, the question would be is like, why is it too hard? Where in those areas, in these wheels, where in these wheels are you having trouble that's having an effect on you today that's affecting the outcome, which is the goal to make 6 figures now. And so then you go deeper on that. Okay, am I being consistent every single day, waking up same time every day? Yes or no? No. Okay, that's something you could do. Am I drinking 500 mils? I don't know what to do. Well, hey, Tammy, hey, Eddie, hey, Jordan, hey, Brooklyn, hey, James. Can I pay you for a consult? Can I pay you like what you're worth? Or you guys in the Philippines find a trainer? Or go on the internet. Best morning routine. Done. If anyone messages me on Facebook or emails again, Karl, Vitruvian Health, if you email me, what's the best morning routine? I'll send you a YouTube video and I'll give you 3 things that you should start doing. It's like a breathing technique from Tony Robbins. Like, it's great. Buy a trampoline. Everyone buy a trampoline. Thing is amazing. Like, think of when you're miserable and you're tired and you're lethargic. If you start bouncing on a trampoline, I guarantee you're going to start like cheering up. You're like, oh, wow, this is fun. When you play your favorite song, you cannot be miserable, tired, lethargic, and grumpy when you play your favorite song, hydrate, and bounce on a trampoline. Can't do it. Impossible. Tammy's face. I could prove you're wrong. Nah, sorry, you can't. No one can do it. Favorite music, got to get in the zone, find your stuff that really gets you going. And that's really comes back to your own value of yourself. So if you did those things, do you think that would be more, your goals would be easier to achieve?
Yes.
Because what would you do? You'd walk into the store, you'd buy the phone, they go, do you want to put that on card? You'd be like, yes, I do. Worth it, because you earned it. Like everyone right here, this little thing, this is a statue. There's 1,000 of them in the world. I own one of them. I have lots of rare statues. I like to collect rare things. I collected one when I hired a team of 10. I got another one when I achieved goals. So this is why you got to set yourself goals. Your reward for it's free, cheap, and expensive. What would they be? Holiday, coffee. Like I love sitting in a cafe and having a coffee, my thing. So I do it once a week with Kate because my partner loves time with me and I sometimes love time with my partner. So sometimes, because you also need, the final piece I'm going to say is you also need someone who's going to challenge you. So if you're constantly cruising here and wondering why you're not 10xing it, it's probably because you don't have someone to push you. So anyone on my team, just guess what? Next year, it's going to be fun. It's going to be tough. But this is why I sometimes don't like coffee with my partner. She busts my balls. But you need to have that person in your corner because it's from respect. James and I did this yesterday. I would say, James, when we did the reflection piece, it probably felt like the first 10 minutes was like you were being just told you're a little bitch. Or it's your fault, right?
Yeah.
But as we kept talking, you realize it was like, no, I just need to actually reflect on this and be aware of my actions and what's happening.
Yep.
Took us 30 minutes, but I realized when I was doing it with James, I'm like, it feels like I'm just being really hard on him. I'm telling him he's being unprofessional. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, hey, this is what's happening. Are you aware of it? Oh, yeah, I guess. No. Okay, we need to talk more about this until you realize this is probably not serving you. And his action was like, oh, but I want to do it. Okay, cool. Do you want to keep doing it? Oh, no. Okay, how many more times do you need to do this mistake until you decide to take massive action on it? Maybe 2 more times? Cool. 2 more times. You do it 2 more times? 3rd time, we sit down and we go and we now talk about it and go, what happened? Make sense to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's thumbs up. So a lot of information. Now, Karl, what the hell do I do with all of this? You just told me a whole bunch of stuff. We've just done 90-day goals. We've done a year goal. We've done intrinsic physical manifestation. Let's now piece it all together. Number 1, all the information. This is what you do. You get another piece of paper. You go, dear Karl, you do it yourself. So I did dear Mary, dear James, dear Camille, dear Janelle, dear Tammy, dear Jordan. I just want to remind you that you are a legend, in case you forgot. It's been a year, 365 days, and I'm just writing this letter to you to let you know that you have achieved 1, you have made 6 figures. 2, you've purchased your own phone. You have punched Carl in the face. You have gotten promoted. You have made it to the basketball team and you're in the development team. And you're now networking with coaches and now you're a high performer. You are now the #1 project sports manager of Germany. You've got PR. One more time. You got PR. Permanent residency, in case anyone doesn't know what that means. Personal record. You are attracting 10 athletes on demand a year. You are the go-to person for XYZ. You've written it down. Congratulations on achieving these goals. Just know that the people that have helped you through these tough times are Mary Ann. Yeah, everyone should write Mary Ann. Everyone should do that. That'll be fun. So everyone can message Mary in a year's time. She'll love it. Send her videos. She loves extroverts. Loves. As you can tell by her face, not the case. But yeah, you know, Mary Ann, big supporter. Tammy, Jordan, really love their work. You know, when you've achieved these goals, just remember to acknowledge the people that have helped you get there. Go out for drinks or take them out, have a party. Because I did, had a Christmas party. I cooked for them all. I love to cook. It's one of my values, and I love to make food. So when a bunch of people ask me at the Christmas party, hey, can I help you? I'm like, no, go away. It's my thing. And then I made lots of delicious food, and everyone enjoyed themselves. So write that letter, email it to me, and I will email it to you next year, same time. Or write it down, put it in an envelope, put it somewhere, open it up in a year's time. And in that year, when you've finished, reflect. How did I go? What changes did I make? Second, put your goals somewhere you can see them every single day. And you go, look at it. Huh, I forgot about that. Huh, is what I'm doing today going to impact that? In a month's time, you might go, you know what? I want to make 6 figures. I really don't like who I'm becoming. My partner and I fight a lot. We argue. Like life was good a month ago. Captain Underpants, bring him back. So write a letter to yourself, Hannah with great enthusiasm. Email it to me. I'll store it. I'll even read it. Give you feedback. Bust your balls in the sense of I think you can push harder, heavier. Everyone in my entire team, I'm just going to tell you right now, all of your goals, think about them. 2 exit, 5 exit, 10 exit. Make it uncomfortable. Make it hard. So it's a challenge. Because the thing is, if you push for perfection, what are you going to fall short on? Greatness. If you push for okay, you're going to get shit. So you want to push yourself that little bit more. So even if you don't make it, you'll get a better result than what you thought you would have. So for Angel, if you're like, I want to make 6 figures, $100,000, 100,000 pesos, cool. Go 200, go 300,000 pesos. Because what are you going to fall short on? Oh no, I fell short 150. Oh man, that's more than just the 6 figures I was expecting a year ago. That sucks. Yeah, well, cool. So add to it. Challenge everyone. Whatever you've written, go further. Enjoy the process. That brings us to the end of the recording. Hope you got a lot out of it. Any final questions from anyone before we finish?